This is a basic hip mobility exercise for your hips. What you're going to do is start laying on your back, and then you're going to try to bring your knees together to touch. Now, if your knees cannot touch, what you need to do is just bring your legs in like this, and you're just slowly stretching out your hips. Once your knees can touch, you widen your stance, bring your feet out, and then once again, you try to bring your knees in order to mobilize the front of your hip. Now, this should be moved in a pain free range of motion just to the point where you're starting to feel the stretch. Once again, if your knees start to touch and then now they can't touch, now you do this mobility exercise by bringing the knees in and just slowly mobilizing the front of your hip. And you're going to do this till you get to the point where you can't bring your feet out any further and have them still touch. The next step is to have one foot straight and then have the other knee bent, and then you try to bring that knee down and touch the ground. Once again, you're just going to do this repeatedly, going within a pain-free range of motion, and every time you do it, your knee's going to drop down a little bit more further because you're going to have a little bit more mobility on the inside of your hip in the growing adductor area. Once you get to the point where you feel like you have sufficient mobility in that range of motion, then you're going to switch sides. Once the other side feels comfortable, then you're going to start with the initial side and you're going to do a full circle. You're going to move this full circle in a counterclockwise but also in a clockwise manner. It does not matter which one you start with. You can go counterclockwise first or you can go counterclockwise first. As long as you're just getting that full range of motion of your activation of the hip and also mobility and flexibility of the hip. Once you've completed that and that feels comfortable, then you're going to get into this position on your back and rotate your hips back and forth. So you're trying to get your knees to touch the ground. You're trying to get the inside knee to touch the ground, but you're also trying to get your outside knee to touch the ground simultaneously. The goal for this exercise is to get your knee to touch on both legs and in both positions. This is stretching out the muscles in your adductors and in your abductors, your hip flexors. Everything is being stretched all at the same time.